What's going on, everybody? So in this video, I want to talk a little more about the game on Saturday. Florida dominated South Carolina, beat down freaking Spencer Rattler, got revenge on both South Carolina and Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler a couple years ago mocked the Florida Gators after Oklahoma played Florida in a bowl game. Florida, of course, didn't have like Kyle Pitts. They didn't have Kadarius Toney, first round picks. So Spencer Rattler thought he did something in that game against the Florida Gators in that bowl game. Well, it's a little different when you play all the starters, ain't it? We rattled his ass. Oh, you know what? After thinking about it after that game, it put the cherry on top on his ass. We had him scared. What was he yesterday? What was he? Well, he wasn't Gator chomping yesterday, was he? 18 of 26, 145 yards, QBR of 21. Hey, where was that chomping at yesterday? A little harder when those starters are in, ain't it? Oh man, it just just a little better after yesterday. Got after him. The only one that actually could throw the ball was the punter, it looked like, because he was 1-1 for 48 yards. His QBR was 100. Maybe Spencer Rattler needs to take lessons from him. So, anyways, we got to get back, South Carolina from last year. Florida does move to 6-4. 3-4 in conference with Vanderbilt coming up. Hopefully Florida can go 4-4, but the Vanderbilt game does scare me a little bit. Vanderbilt just got an upset victory over Kentucky. Vanderbilt is not a bad SEC team, surprisingly. They're very smart, and it looks like they're pretty good at football. So, I'm a little worried about that. But Vanderbilt usually always plays Florida pretty tough somehow. I don't know how. I don't know why. They can win one game and still give Florida fits. But Anthony Richardson yesterday was 11 of 23, 112 yards, 4.9 average, QBR of 90. So not terrible. He did miss a couple of easy throws. I feel like he just needs to, not rifle those things like 100 miles an hour. But check this out. Montrell Johnson, 24 carries, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. Trevor Etienne, 8 carries, 100 yards, a 12-point yard per carry average, 1 touchdown, that long 85-yard touchdown. That's what most of his yards were on. Anthony Richardson, 15 carries for 96 yards, almost had 3 offensive players with 100 yards rushing. And I said at halftime, or I think it was like the first quarter or something, I said, Montrell Johnson, Trevor Etienne were going to have 100 yards, and by God, they did. And, listen, Caleb Douglas, man, he's wearing that number 12. Makes me think of someone that used to play for the Florida Gators. Van Jefferson, he kind of looks like him a little bit. Caleb Douglas, true freshman, 3 catches, 53 yards. Ricky Pearsall, 1 catch, 15 yards, but Ricky Pearsall was all over the field. Whenever it was, go-to time, I felt like they tried to go to Pearsall. He's just a great route runner. Anthony Richardson missed him a couple of times. But look, defense to me was the spotlight. They kept getting turnover after turnover after turnover. 3 sacks. Ventrell Miller led the way with 4 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Man, I'm going to miss him after this year. Amari Burney had a good game. Listen, I could go down the list. Desmond Watson. What? Desmond Watson? Are you kidding me? Making an athletic play, stripping the ball, goal with the Heisman. Look at the big man move. Oh, man, that was awesome. Shamar James had a good game. True freshman. Kamari Wilson, true freshman, forced a fumble. Princely had a great game. I don't know if I could pronounce his last name. I still don't. I think announcers are having a problem with it as well. But Princely had a good game. A.P. Ryland, man, I love the way this guy been. I like the way he moves as a defensive end. But you can tell after the removal of Brenton Cox, this defense has played so much better. 6 quarters, this defense gave up 0 points. Is that crazy? Trey Dean coming up with a couple of plays here and there. Jason Marshall playing better. Now, I'm not trying to get over the top on this, or overreact on this, but I think Florida, with the momentum they have right now, entering the final 2 games of the regular season, Vanderbilt and then going to FSU, FSU playing good football, so I think this helps. I think the Florida State game is going to be one heck of a game. I think it's going to be very competitive. It hasn't been like that over the past couple years. So, hopefully, Florida can finish out the rest of the season, with victories over Vanderbilt and FSU. But, the next two games are going to be telling. But 6-4, Florida's bowl eligible. Hey, I'm happy with it right now. With a first-year head coach, I think Billy Napier's starting to get a feel of this team, and Patrick Toney. I think they're feeling out this team like, okay, now we know our strengths. Now we know our weaknesses. Let's take advantage of it. And, yesterday was just, oh my goodness, was a thing of beauty. I wish special teams now can get some of those things corrected. Whatever that was yesterday was not it. So hopefully special teams can get everything corrected. But man, what a beautiful day it was to be a Florida Gator. Florida Gators get the victory over South Carolina by a score of 38-6. Man, I was excited all game long. But hey, as always, I appreciate y'all watching this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.